Welcome back. Let's invite the management of Welspun Living. Now, the company's top-line growth was fairly muted. Remember, this is a company which gets most of their revenues from textile and part of it from the flooring business. And the company's top-line growth this time was just 3.2% on a year-on-year basis. Margins contracted to 11.3%. And as a result of this, profits of the company were down close to about 30%. Dipali Goenka, MD and CEO of the company, is now with us on the show. Dipali, morning. This is Reema here. First, talk to us about the textile business. Revenues are muted, margins under pressure. What happened in the company? What happened in the quarter?
First of all, let me tell you, our top line is on track. Today, also 11.7% YTD is our top line. Our margins, there was a small blip for this quarter. It is also because of the margin mix, because of the currency, because rupee depreciated. And also because of the freight issues. And I think this is just going to be this quarter. And hence, we've given a target of around 14% EBITDA for this annual year, for the year annual. But top line on track, 15,000 crores as we committed on 2027. It is just a matter of this quarter. So I don't think so there's anything to really fret about anywhere.
So what would be, are you on track for your margin guidance, or do you think it's going to be lower?
As I spoke about, our margin guidance, we've given a 14% EBITDA margin instead of 15%. And that's the only deviation. And that's also been a matter of because the macro effects, in the, and we all know that, Yeah.
Understood that. Dipali, first of all, thank you so much for joining us. So as far as the top line is concerned, you've maintained the guidance that you've given. And for the EBITDA margin, you've slightly lowered it. Could you give us a sense of the capacity utilization trend as far as the new pillow facility is concerned? Because that is something that the street believes will drive revenues going forward. How was it in Q3? How do you expect that to revive in Q4 and expectations for FY26?
So pillows is something that we've invested in America. And right now it is at the capacity of around 24 to 30%. But going forward, we are looking at, and this year, end of this year, we'll be at a top line of around $20 million. And we'll be doubling it for the next year, around $45 million. The opportunity is that it is equivalent to the, the volume of towels in the United States of America. So that's where we see a great opportunity. And definitely made in America will be also a very interesting thing to see in the new regime as well. So yes, made in India for our home textiles, along with this mixed bag of make in America and also distributed in America through our warehouses is an interesting way forward.
Dipali, I understand that you're maintaining your revenue guidance, and if I look at the 9-month performance, you're on track, 11% kind of a top line growth. But particularly in the last 3 months, growth has slowed down compared to what it was in the first half of the year. So has anything in the demand environment changed, or from your clients' end, which explains that?
So let me tell you, when we talk about our home textile business, there's a way that, we work in. Half one has always been the highest quarters. Half one is the highest part of the year. And half two generally tends to slow down because quarter three is the end of the year for most of the retailers, where they have the stock correction, and it is, the fag end of their, festival season. So they are correcting their inventories. So it's always been that the quarter three tends to slow down, and more so that you've seen right now, because it is actually also on a larger base. So that's where you've seen it, but we'll continue to grow on this larger base as well, where we are headed towards our numbers. And I think our guidance towards our top line is intact. EBITDA has just, just by a blip of 1%, I think definitely that's it.
Dipali, the other question is, you had earlier guided the street to a net debt of 14 to 1,500 crore by the end of FY25. On a sequential basis, net debt has increased by close to 150 crore. Is there a one-off? Do you continue to retain the net debt reduction guidance? And we also believe that by FY28, you aspire to be debt-free. So is that on track?
Absolutely. And end of this year, we will be at 1,500 crores. It is a matter of working capital. And, our CapEx, that's where you've seen this impact on the net debt. But we are on track for that as well in the quarter four. And as we go forward, year 28, we are absolutely looking at net debt, zero.
What are the early indications of FY26? You would have heard from your clients on the kind of ordering for the coming year. So what can you guide your shareholders about FY26? How much better compared to FY25?
So we'll maintain a steady state growth of, 9 to 10% on our home textile business. Emerging businesses will continue to grow and contribute to over 30% to our top line. Domestic business will grow at a CAGR of around 35%. And we are waiting for the budget as well. I think that could be a great opportunity because, with the kind of higher disposable income that will come into the consumers is going to be a great opportunity for India. The tax relief that people are talking about, I think, is a very interesting thing that we are seeing. So overarchingly, maintaining a growth of home textile in the terms of 10%, CAGR of 30% in the emerging businesses is the way forward for what we are talking about.
Dipali, I want to understand from you on the flooring business. We understand that revenues from the B2B segment increased by close to 12% on a year-on-year basis. But sequentially, there's been quite a sharp dip, a little over 20% dip. So what actually happened over there, and how's the branded segment of the flooring business performing?
So India actually has grown and actually is getting on EBITDA positive for us. And let me tell you, I mean, it has grown by 10 to 12%. And when I talk about the global flooring, again, the freight and the Red Sea issues have been a kind of a slight aberration for this quarter. Yes, and I think, and that with the new administration coming in, that is going to be behind us. The freight costs are also coming down. So yeah, we will see a positive upside on that as well. And we're working with OEMs and the home improvements and the others as well, and the commercial and the institutional businesses there.
Dipali, how does the depreciating rupee impact you on the margin? Is it net positive?
It will be. I mean, if we plan for that, and it's just as we go forward, it definitely will be. And also, let me also give you a perspective. If I compare it to our peers currencies are far more depreciating vis-a-vis us, and so hence they challenge us in the terms of being competitive, in the global, competitiveness in the terms of products. So I think definitely that's going to be an opportunity. India definitely is in the bright spot in the terms of the supply chain as well, where people are looking at India, where you have a stable supply chain of cotton, and also your vertical integrated plants and the skilling of your manpower definitely is going to be a very huge opportunity. And yes, in the budget, we also feel if we can get a good impetus for the MSMEs, it could give, because they are the bedrock of our home textile, that could be a great one for us to see.
Thank you, Dipali, for joining in. That's the word coming in from Welspun Living. Get into break. But here is some good news for all our viewers, because India's business news leader is now just a click away. So we're introducing the all-new app. So get instant access to breaking news, all our articles, financial world updates at your fingertips. Download the app now from the Apple Store or the Google Play Store, or you could just scan the QR code on your screen.